my fellow limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, and evening? How are you all? Huh? You been good? You been making a decision on who you believe you are? Are you making the decision that you can be any version of yourself you want? I hope you're choosing the version of you that has what you want. Okay, basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the Dropbox below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships on this channel. They are channel member levels. So if you select the hot seat coaching group, you will have access to both channel membership groups. Yes, both. And it's a very successful group. It's going really, really well. And come on, think about it. Everyone has you pushed out. So even if you do not get into the hot seat, if it's not your turn this week or whatever week, someone will ask a question that is very similar to what you're manifesting, because everyone has you pushed out. We're all connected to one consciousness. So you should join. Okay. Also, I have TikTok and Instagram, all under Manifesting with Kimberly. Okay. So let's jump right in. I wanted to give you some really, really real, raw, and tested tips that will absolutely bring you your exact manifestation. And they are 100% proven to work. And I'm your proof of that. So truthfully, anything I talk about on my channel, you'll know if it's something that I practice and do, and I will give you true results. Like, I will tell you truthfully if it's worked for me, it hasn't worked for me. I don't just talk about shit that I don't back up on this channel. I think if you've been here a while, you already know that. But really, these tips that I'm about to give you are things I have done myself, and I have successfully manifested whatever I wanted and maintained. So still have, unless it's something I've decided I want something different now and I went and manifested that. That could be an item too, right? But this shit works. So it's got 100% my backing. Okay? But they're real tips. They're real. Some people don't like one of these things, and it's because you know you're openly doing it. So let's just jump right in instead of me warning you about the stuff you might not like. Okay. Number 1. This is probably the one people are going to get annoyed with. Discipline. Now you notice I did not say perfection. I said discipline. Now what do I mean by that? I mean, when you are truly ready to experience whatever it is you're manifesting, discipline won't seem that difficult to you, because the manifestation will be more important than you feeling sorry for yourself in a victim state. And that's coming from love, because I loved my victim state. I was there a very long time, but I had to get real with myself too. Manifestation does require discipline, but not perfection, which means it is absolutely normal for you to have just a down day, a day where you're doubting or, worry that you're not going to get your manifestation, all the normal human moments. Totally normal. And does not mean you're now going to not get your manifestation if they happen. And I think everybody at some point experiences a spiral, which also does not mean you're not going to have your manifestation. But coupled with that, discipline matters. And by discipline, I mean, listen, having an off day is one thing, but daily marinating and you not having what you want feels like shit. You don't feel good, because I was that person too. Okay? I was the daily crier while in my solo vacation, and it was fucking miserable. So you don't feel good doing it. So start getting disciplined. Start deciding your manifestation is more important than you sitting and wallowing and worrying or thinking that nothing's working for yourself. It requires discipline. At some point, even I had to get to a place of, all right, I am sick of fucking feeling like this. I'm sick of feeling like this. I want change in my life. I want what I want, manifestation-wise. That's it. And that's where the discipline really hardcore kicked in. And by discipline, again, it's not about perfection. It didn't mean I felt great 24/7. I didn't. But I kept returning. Showing up for myself, changing my state. Because I wanted what I wanted. It was important to me. Now, when it comes to discipline, one of the main things I'm talking about is, listen, we have all seen the comments, and listen, you might be the person experiencing what I'm about to say. We've all seen the comments in various, creators' videos. There's always a few people who show up and say, well, I've been on this journey a year or more. And you might be that person right now. You might not have been someone who left the comment, but you're someone in the experience. Like, I've been on this journey a year or more, still don't have what I want. Which that in itself I know is discouraging to other people and obviously discouraging to the person experiencing it. But what I'm telling you is, it doesn't have to be another year for you. It doesn't. With discipline and disciplining your mind, things will change for you. But I brought up the commenting for a reason. Someone who chooses to go from creators' videos, all different creators, to video, to video, to video, to video, and relentlessly leave comments that it's not working. You've been on this journey for however long. I don't even care if it's been a month. Relentlessly discussing it all over the place is not you being disciplined. It's not you being disciplined. And don't get me wrong, everybody has their moment and want to show up in a live stream for a creator and ask a damn question about their manifestation. Everybody's done that, or at least has the desire to do it at some point. But to leave a similar comment on every damn coach's video section, relentlessly overtelling what you're not experiencing in your 3D, all the negative, is you choosing to be a victim day after day after day after day after day. You know it. And if you've got the time to leave the damn comment and everybody and their mother's channel, you're spending your whole day marinating. But then you're wondering why it's not here yet. Manifestation is easy. It is cut and dry as far as your 3D has to reflect, has to validate who you believe you are. And if you're spending most of your time telling your story of how you don't have anything yet, or in how long you've been on the journey, and this doesn't work everywhere you go, and obviously there's a few people that are in my mind specifically, right? Because I read every comment. I might not have the time to respond to every comment. I read them all. So I get to know names. Yes? And there are some other coaches that I enjoy their content. And if it's not even their content, because maybe they're newbies, but I might like their personality and I just enjoy listening to them. I see it. So own it. You're doing that. You're choosing to do that. Discipline your mind. Discipline yourself. You don't have to be perfect, but there are some behaviors and choices that you are making currently that you can be cutting right out of your current experience so that it could help you return to the state you need to be to have your manifestation. Daily marinating on everybody's comment section, talking about all the shit you're not happy with and how it hasn't worked yet, is not you being disciplined. It's you being a victim. And I say that from love because I was a victim too. And it wasn't fun being a victim or in the victim state. It's not fun being there. But for some of us, it feels so damn natural and normal to be there because we've been there most of our existence. And this is where we are breaking that habit. So discipline is a part of this journey. Unless, of course, you're going to create the belief that you can wallow in shit fucker land all day long and still get what you want. You better create that belief, though. Okay? And I mean it. I know this sounds harsh, but this is a real and raw video. I'm keeping it real. Okay? Stop talking about your circumstances day after day after day. And sometimes, some of you, it's moment by moment, hour by hour. Everybody has an off day. So I'm not talking about your once in a while comments. That's not what I'm saying. We all have those days. And sometimes we just want the encouragement from other people. That's understandable. That's acceptable. That's normal. My live streams consist of people sometimes just having a shitty day. And my wonderful fellowship of HBICs are there to scoop you up, pick you up, and help you, zhuzh you. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. I love watching it because sometimes I can't get to every damn comment. But it's very supportive. But when you're guilty of doing it, nearly every video, at least of mine, and I'm sure others, some of you I have seen, I'm just keeping it real. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? If nothing else, stop it. Your 3D validates who you're being. And if you're continuously doing that, you are choosing to be the version of yourself that doesn't have the manifestation. So there you go. Tip 1. Discipline. Discipline. Not perfection. Discipline. Okay? Okay. Number 2, and it's kind of, listen, all of these are going to kind of reflect each other. They're all coincided, obviously. Authenticity. Authenticity. For some of us, authenticity about what I was really thinking and feeling about me versus what I was manifesting was not something I instantly did. So don't beat yourself up if you know you've been that person hiding behind Band-Aids. I was that person. So I feel you. But that also couples with the victim state. And if there's infinite states, you may still be evolving and growing, but you may still be in a victim state. So it's authenticity. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, manifestation, as I said earlier, is cut and dry. You will receive, experience exactly, precisely to the T, who you believe you are, truly. That's what your 3D will show you at all moments. Who you truthfully, authentically believe you are. So if you're manifesting a specific person, or you're just manifesting love, new love in general, who you believe you are relative in love and relationships matters. So we want to take a look at that. If we know truthfully, we believe we're never going to be good enough, we're never going to be chosen either by that specific person or by a new love interest, then we have to decide we're not that person anymore. But we have to be authentic with ourselves and own up to what we're really thinking and feeling. And listen, if this is the first moment you've decided to be authentic with yourself, good. Because let me tell you something. Let's say you've been on this journey for the last year, but let's say 364 days of that last year was you not owning up to what you were really believing about yourself and love. Well, guess what? If you decide today, if today's the day you get real with yourself and realize what you've been thinking and make that damn decision to be the version of you who does think love can happen for you or does think you can be chosen and you are more than enough for any person in your reality, if you make that decision today, it doesn't matter that you spent the last 364 days. It doesn't matter. What matters is what new state you decide to keep returning to. And remember, by your state, that's just another way of saying who you believe you are. If you make the decision today, all the past is not going to hold you back, meaning it's not going to take another 364 days for your 3D to finally catch up because you spend 364 days of thinking shitty. No, it can quickly turn around based on your new state. Quickly. I've seen things changes within 24 hours. I've seen 2 weeks. What I can say is the previous time wasn't held against me. Yes, I was a victim state bitch. All levels of victim state. I was. And when I finally got fucking authentic with myself, I got really, really real about what I believed in myself versus what I was manifesting, my 3D quickly changed. Quickly. So it can for you too. Don't worry about your past. Think about your present moment now and who you really believe you are. That's the only thing that matters, honestly. So be authentic with yourself. Okay? Another tip is sticking with this. Sticking with it. The daily decision or the not giving up. Stick with your manifestation journey. Stick with it. Now, there's 2 messages in this. Number 1 is the obvious. Don't give up. Every single day, you get your ass up and make the decision that you are your new self. Every time you make that decision. Now, listen, making the decision of who you believe you are can be done in a multiple different ways. You can be affirming. You are now the version of yourself that knows you're chosen, you're loved, you're wanted, you're desired, you're a multi-millionaire, you're amazing with money. Money follows you everywhere, right? Money's energy. Money follows you everywhere. Money is obsessed with you, following you, wanting to be with you. You're making that decision every single day, no matter what. No matter what, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're really thinking, you're still choosing to get there. So you could be affirming this. You could be visualizing what you think the version of you looks like that is so confident in the knowing that you're having whatever you want and that you are completely limitless in every category of life. There's not one right way of doing it, but it's just a choice. It's just a choice. For me, a lot of times it's just thinking to myself, yeah, this is who I am now. I'm the girl who knows she's loved and experiencing unconditional love and experiencing the best relationship of her life, where I am now that version of myself who truly knows what it feels like to be chosen, to be wanted, to be desired, to be loved. I'm her. I'm that version of myself now. I look at that as having an inner conversation with my 4D self, as if I'm describing, holy shit, I'm living the life that I've been manifesting. I'm really living it. It's just allowing myself to marinate in the, oh my God, I'm really her. I did it. I really got into the version of me who is fucking limitless. I did it. It's just a conversation. Sometimes the conversation is out loud. Sometimes the conversation is just in my head. It doesn't matter. But I believe that that's enough for me to do, and it works. But it's because I believe it. So it doesn't matter what your manifestation game, but please be, this is also another tip, be doing things that brings you joy. That other message, like I said, it's twofold. The other message is know you're doing it right. Know that what you're doing is enough. So when you're making that daily decision of who you believe you are or who you are becoming or what state you're in, know that it's enough. Know what you're doing is enough to get you there, because it is. It's the law of assumption. You can assume anything or have any belief of your choice. So know it's working. Know who the hell you are. That's the 2 messages in there. So like I said, so this is rolling into the next one, is what you're consuming. You know, if like I said, you're going to get yourself exhausted. You don't have to follow word for word what every single coach says. This is your personal decision of what works for you. Stop thinking that you have to do every single thing that every other coach talks about. You are going to get exhausted. It's going to get frustrating, and you're going to get confused. If you fucking hate affirming, stop affirming. If you love just having inner conversations with your specific person, have inner conversations with everything else you're manifesting too. So if you're manifesting money, I know it sounds weird, but have inner conversations with money, because money is energy. Yes, it is. We all are. Talk to it. Talk to it. Why do I believe that works? Because money is not a physical human. Why do I think that works? Because whatever we're manifesting is being brought to us by people. By people. Manifestation comes through people. Sometimes total strangers. Yeah? So if we're all connected to consciousness and you are telling yourself that you are the version of yourself that money just flies to, right? Money is obsessed with you. You have so much money, you don't know what to do with it all. Well, guess what's going to happen? Your 3D has to validate that. Yeah. So whether it's one person or a million people, people are going to start wanting to just give you fucking money or make decisions or mistakes and accidentally give you money. Yeah, it works. So if you enjoy inner conversations, have them with anything you're manifesting. Have it with your 4D self like I do, which is just me talking to me saying, oh my God, I did it. I fucking did it. Whatever that may mean. And rewind because I already mentioned it in the video. But that's what I'm trying to say to you is if you don't like visualizing, don't visualize. We're thinking in pictures anyway. But I don't enjoy visualizing either. Just the sound of it makes me think, ugh. Now, because I keep it real, I have manifested from visualizing, but there was more of a task because I wanted to conquer it. But it's not something I returned to specifically, literally. Meaning, again, we think in pictures. Anyway, we do. Our mind thinks in pictures. But if that feels yuck to you because you don't think you think in pictures, that's okay. Do what you like. Do what you like. Whether you're affirming, visualizing, scripting, inner conversations, meditation, all of these things are utilizing your imagination, which is what your connection to the I am is. It's how you're manifesting. So decide what brings you joy and fucking stick to that. And decide it's going to work like I already said in the video. Decide it. Some of you newbies, and I get it because I was the same damn way, I thought I had to do word for word what I heard people saying. Which, listen, lucky for me, that doesn't usually jive with my personality. So I chose my own road and decided it was going to work just fine, and it did. But that's my point is you really are making the decision how manifestation works for you. And I know right now, especially if you're brand new, maybe you just found this video, there's a part of you that thinks like, no way, this is too good to be true. Or, well, that's too easy. Why isn't everybody doing it? Everybody is doing it. You are already a master manifester. You've been manifesting everything in your life up into this point, yes? So you're already a master at it. So what brings you joy? If you're someone who, I like paper products, so it used to be fun to script. If you like that, decide that's all you need to do. Don't make this more complicated. Listen, whenever we're having moments where we think it's not working for us, it is because in that moment, you are thinking logically. You are thinking logically because all of us have been conditioned to think logically and literally. Our mind loves to remind us of previous past experiences. It's our way of protecting ourselves because we have to make decisions to survive in the 3D, right? Think about it, the caveman days. Whatever their ego looked like had to prevent them from making stupid ass decisions so they wouldn't get eaten by a damn dinosaur. So we're all conditioned. We're conditioned to stop us from doing stupid shit. Some of us listen, some of us don't. But guess what? It's that conditioning that you're breaking the habit of. You're deciding that you are no longer under that control. And yes, it's just a decision. Why do you think that when people finally get to a damn place where they are just so fucking fed up with their existence that change really starts to happen in their life? It's because they made a fucking decision and they stuck to it. You can do that too. You don't have to wait until you're pissed off or hurt for it to happen. Decide it now. Make the decision now. You know, it's scary to think that we've been running this reality our entire life. And I know, listen, because my mind went there too. We went to the place of why did I have to experience this? Why did I have to experience that? You know, that's something I have never forgotten. It eats away at me. I know. I'm telling you, I get it. If you're thinking that, I know. But in my opinion, it's a damn waste of time. And if it's an event in your life that is really, really upsetting to you, you can revise it, or you can just be so fed up of having to think about that shit experience or traumatic experience and decide it's not going to hold you back anymore. It has no more power over you. You get to be who you want to be. And it's with these tips that I just shared with you. They work. You will get your manifestation if you stick to these tips. Notice what I didn't say was I didn't tell you, you should be affirming or you should be visualizing. It doesn't matter what technique you like to use what brings you joy. It'll work. And on that note, I think I have said enough. There are other tips out there. There's probably going to be a host of things that pop up into my mind as soon as I finish recording. And if that's the case, well, down the line, I'll record another video. But these that I've shared in here is more than enough to get you your manifestation. Keeping it real. This is how I live my life. I don't hold myself to perfection, but I do everything else here. And it has successfully brought me my manifestations over and over and over again. So guess who has the belief now that these work? My manifestation game is not big. It's not all consuming. It's decision making and not much more than that. And it works because I say so. You get to say what works for you too. So start deciding that you are the version of you who can make fucking decisions and stick to it. Decide it. This doesn't have to be hard. We make it hard with our logical, literal thinking minds. We're taking a break from logic when manifesting, okay? And on that note,